and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I've been chomping at the bit to comment on old Sleepy Joe's press conference, or as Laura Ingraham said, depressed conference. Reading notes. Even Chris Wallace said he can never remember a president reading talking points at a press conference, ever. Go back and look at the Trump press conferences. Boy, oh boy, no notes. I mean, it is scary. And just imagine what all of our enemies, foreign and domestic, think when they watch Joe's performance. But it wasn't enough that he had his little cheat sheets written down, and there's photos of it now, his little talking points to read from and stumble over. He even had a photographic chart of the reporters to call on, a picture. Joe Biden sits in the Oval Office every day, and they're doing picture identifications just like your kindergartner and preschool person does. Your preschool kid does. I mean, this is off the charts. Oh, well, okay, that's what Jane looks like. Oh, hi, Jane, I'll call on you. And the confusion. I mean, again, he goes back to some of those, just free-flowing hodgepodge. It's just controlled questions. Based upon his photograph chart and his talking points, is there anybody in America that doesn't think that the White House press office called each person they called on and said, he's going to call on you, you ask him this. I mean, that's the deal. He will call on you if you ask him X, Y, Z. Is there anybody in America that doesn't think that that's what just went down? He's so weak. God, he's so weak. All of us who supported Trump, just can't believe this happened. Well, we know how it happened, but it's unbelievable that America elected this guy. It's unbelievable. How about some of his lies? And people can jump in on whatever they want to talk about, which lies they want to focus. I want to focus on one. They're all going to be going back. Really? They're all going to be going back. All the adults are going to be going back. And how incredible is it that he thinks it's a compliment that they all come into the border because they know he's a nice guy? Did you hear anything come out of his mouth of how Kamala's going to save the problem with her cackling? I didn't. And then you've got the whole laundry list of what wasn't asked. I mean, just wasn't asked at all. Last but not least, he claims he's running for 2024. He was asked that. Well, of course he's going to say, I'm running for 2024. He'll be 82. If he's that bad now, can you imagine what he's going to be like 4 years from now? Comatose. He's not running for re-election. No way, no how. That press conference just scares the hell out of me. Scares the hell out of me. And it proves, nobody's talking about that, who I think is running the country. It's a combination of Kamala, Jill, the wife, and, because she's controlling him, she's hovering over him, and Susan Rice. Those three are running this damn country together. Joe Biden's not running the country.
George Soros, too.
Yeah, always in the shadows. Gallup, the polling company, they get news and everything else. They maintain that they've told Joe Biden that 42 million illegals want to come in this country. There's 42 million that want in. Well, hell yeah, under Joe Biden's policy, wherever you live in this world and you want to get out of the hellhole you're in, yes, there are hellholes in this world. Just like Trump said, you want to come to America, why not? Folks, we can't do this. We can't do it. We can't handle what's going on down there now. There's no law or rule or international policy that says, if you're down on your luck, come to America, we'll pay for everything. Rutgers, and I'm going to do a legal commentary on this. Rutgers is now saying, and this is going to spread across this country, everybody who's vaccinated can come back to in-school learning. That's what they're doing. This has now arrived in America, and I'm going to explain it in my legal commentary. Fox 19. I have a buddy of mine. He's a young guy, but he works at Fox 19 News. And he sent to me the policy, and Roger's going to put it up on the screen. Updated COVID-19 workplace protocols for fully vaccinated employees. The memo outlines a number of coronavirus protocols that no longer applies. If you're fully vaccinated, no more remote work. Policies for employees inside workplace before leaving home, before entering a station, inside a gray workplace, visitors to gray workspaces, business and personal travel, special cases. Written by corporate lawyers, liberal, for Gray Communications, who owns Fox 19. It's off the charts. You know what's so funny? Deters Law, Bulldog Media, the companies that I'm involved in, sorry, we don't need this. There's no need for this. What lawyers and these large law firms tell their clients they need to make themselves feel important is incredible. And what's really incredible is these companies listen to them. Highlands, going to put this on the screen. Highlands High School has hired a diversity manager named Tristan Vaught. Tristan Vaught sounds like a he/she. Bottom line is, do you believe this? High schools are hiring diversity managers? You like that, Roger? I guess he does. He/she. I mean, come on. A diversity manager?
Hey, you know what? We need a diversity manager at Bulldog Media. Can I be that role?
Sure, Roger.
Okay.
Georgia election reforms. This is incredible. Good news. The Governor Kemp signed the bill, and the Democrats are freaking out. You know why? Because you watch state after state, controlled by Republican legislatures and governors, will pass a similar law to change protection. Now, you know what they call it? You heard what Biden called it yesterday. It's worse than Jim Crow. No. You know what? It is voter suppression of illegal voters. That's all it is. And they call it voter suppression. Yeah, it's voter suppression. Voter suppression of people that don't have an ID. Voter suppression of people that shouldn't vote. Let 2020 never happen again. Black Muppets. I'm all for it. They got 2 black Muppets they've introduced. Good for them. Do you or I or any white person in America have a problem with a couple black Muppets? Nope. What I am going to have a problem is when they start introducing gay Muppets and transgender Muppets. That's around the horizon. Let's hope the transgender Muppet looks a little bit better than Dr. Rachel Levine, who, as I pointed out yesterday, gives transgenders a bad name. Cinderella in a production, I think it's out of Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota somewhere. If I'm wrong, the state doesn't make any difference. What matters is what they did. The Cinderella production has been canceled because it's too white. Can't make it up. Cinderella's too white, and the cast is too white. Minnesota, speaking of Minnesota, social studies. There's new social studies book is going to talk about whiteness and racial issues and gender. It's going to be incredible. The indoctrination. You wonder why the young people think the way they do. It's been ongoing over and over again. You got kids that don't go to college, they'll turn out different than the ones that go to college, guarantee it. Oakland, hear about this. Oakland wants to give they approved it, $500, this proves my point, guaranteed income if you're black. White people need not apply. Think about how that increases racism in this country. If you're a poor white person in Oakland, do you think that increases or decreases racism? And can you blame them? Can you blame any poor white person in Oakland not being pissed off? It's unbelievable. Over and over again in this country. Dana Carvey, you can Google it. You got to check out his impression of, he did it on Stephen Colbert, but there's a long version, short version. You got to check out Dana Carvey's impression of Joe Biden. It's incredible. That's all I got on that. Big news. Bulldog reports has Chuck Holbrook, and he's got a buddy with him, are headed down. They've already been to the Arizona border. They're going to the Texas border. We are going to get our own interviews, our own footage, and report to you what's going on down at the border. Is 5, 9, 12, 19 the Inquirer doing that? I don't think so. You're going to get an unvarnished, boots-on-the-ground report from the underboss, Chuck Holbrook, from the border. Let's see what he comes up with. Folks, we might have passed it by now, but I don't know. You can't make this up. We are at 4,999 subscribers. Who wants to be the one that puts us over 5,000? It's a nice little milestone. The next big milestone will be 10,000. But we are almost to 5,000 subscribers, and I want to thank you. Last but not least, I want to do a little commentary, a little tribute to Vic Ponzer. Vic Ponzer passed away Monday at home at the age of 90, lived a long life. When I was growing up, he owned and managed a Ponzer's restaurant, an iconic place. It was the only restaurant in Independence. Everybody went to Ponzer's. He knew everything. He was fun, man. When I first got in politics, he would give me a hard time. But then we became, because he was Democrat, then he came over and we shared political views. But I always loved talking to Vic. Then he went on to work at the sheriff's office, did car inspections out of the Independence Courthouse, did his driving range over on Mills Road. But he was an Independence icon, Vic Ponzer. So I wish all of the Ponzer family members the best in their mourning and their loss. But what a great life, Vic Ponzer. And I just wanted to pay tribute to him. He was a good guy. I always enjoyed my interactions with him, which was usually him giving me a good-natured hard time about something. That's the way he was. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope all of you have a great weekend.